terrible
long distance relationship
of 8 months.
Unfortunately, it was really hard for us to see the future.
She thinks that she lets me win arguments.
I do, and sometimes I apologize.
It will build up and it will be a ticking time bomb. It's so easy whenever you're not with the other person to just hang up the phone. Kumusta kayo? Welcome back to our channel of Pichie and Austin.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Today, as you guys know, we have gone through our most recent terrible
long distance relationship
of 8 months. So with that being said, we consider ourselves probably pros on the situation by now. What we have compiled for you guys today is 6 tips and tricks of getting through your LDR relationship, or at least making it tolerable. I think we did a pretty good job of it.
I think so too.
Up here. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Oh, also for our first time viewers, we just wanted to say salamat for tuning in. Make sure that you guys give us a like and subscribe down at the bottom and stay up to date for our future content that we post. Also for our returning viewers, we would also like to say salamat for tuning in and staying loyal to our channel.
And also we would just like to thank our new subscriber. Her name is Ashley, and also her mom. I just ate my hair there. Thank you, Tita, for watching.
Okay, so without further ado, let's dig right into it. Here are 6 tips and tricks that you guys need to know if you're doing LDR. Number 6, keep dating each other.
What we mean by this is just to constantly try to look for things that will entertain both parties, and just to keep it alive and romantic.
For instance, you need to realize that you're not going to be able to do a date right next to each other and physically touch. So you need to have ideas and things planned. For instance, me and Pichie watched a show, Snowpiercer, together on Netflix. So we made date nights for Netflix. Also, say I was by myself when I went to go to get breakfast, or I would be like, Pichie, come get breakfast with me. And I would bring the phone with us, and I would set her on the other side of the table, and we would sit there and have breakfast together. A breakfast date. Remember whenever I took you to Walmart with me?
Oh yeah, I love those. He would just bring me along and just video everything that he sees and pretends that we're both there. It was really sweet.
The best that you can do for whenever you're far away, it makes you feel like you're with the other person, and it makes you feel like they're not so far away. Because then you could talk, like, remember when we went to Walmart yesterday and we both saw this and that? It
makes each other feel like we're still part of
it's the connection.
Our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Number 5, support each other's problems. I guess what we mean by this is just like whenever I'm going through things back here at home and he's at the other side of the world, no matter what it is, he always has my back. So that's what I really like, and when I feel the support that he gives me, it really makes me stronger, and it just makes me appreciate him more.
I think sometimes whenever we are away from our significant other and all we see them is through the phone, we tend to forget that they are also living a life of their own, as well as so are we. And we need to understand that their problems are just as important as ours. Even though they have no correlation with each other, they will still affect the relationship. And I think that we all need to realize that when you're together with a person, their problems become yours, and vice versa. So you really have to take that into consideration. It will hold grudges, and it will start to affect the relationship, the smoothness, the flow of the relationship. If you disregard them, expect to get the same thing in return.
It's just good to know that your partner has your back all the time.
Number 4, remember why you're doing this.
Me and Austin, we have been separated for 8 months. 8 months, you guys. And at that time, we didn't know how long it was gonna last. And so, unfortunately, it was really hard for us to see, for example, the future. We didn't have a timetable. So it was just really hard. We were able to figure things out and make ourselves feel better through talking about our future and what we wanted. So that alone motivated us.
I would wake up early in the morning sometimes and I would see Pichie sending me multiple messages of travel here, travel there, Bali, Japan, this and that, and I'm like, oh, I need to get back with Pichie so we can start traveling again. That wasn't the main reason, but like then we start to think like, why is this happening in the first place? We needed to remember how we felt when we were together. Why are we going through this? We told each other no matter what it takes. And if you're doing LDR right now, you need to tell yourself that. Why am I doing this? And am I willing to do whatever it takes? We try to develop plans so we have each other in our future still. We're not living in the present, we're trying to live in the future. We're trying to get our minds together as a couple to our future.
It's like me deciding the things that will benefit not only me but the both of us. So if I'm doing this, like, is this good for Austin also, or is it just for me?
How is it going to help our future?
How does it add value to what we want to do in the future?
You have to keep seeing a future with them. If you don't keep seeing the future, this hard work that you're putting into this relationship, physically, mentally, emotionally strenuous, it's not going to seem worth it. You have to have an end goal. We did sometimes struggle with that because we would wake up in the monotonous every day, waking up, calling. You develop a habit, and before you know it, you're just going through the motions, and you almost feel like your life has become a daily ritual, and you start to get accustomed to being without them. And it sounds bad, I know it does, but you have to snap out of that, otherwise it becomes too comfortable.
Number 3, open emotional communication.
Okay, this one was the most difficult. All right, open emotional communication. As we all know, getting your emotions across via Facebook Messenger, whatever, FaceTime, whatever it be, it's difficult. It's super difficult, especially whenever you have somebody with, I don't want to say two separate personalities, but you're really calm and submissive. I'm very sarcastic, I am very open, I talk a lot of crap, I joke a lot, okay? We've come to find out that's not the best for an LDR relationship. You're not physically in the room with the person. You can't read the vibes, the body language. You can't read how they're responding that day. So whenever you're joking with them, they're not into it. And I don't know that they're not into it. That was one of our biggest issues.
Yes, because I am a very sensitive person, and I think for most relationships out there, usually the girl is more sensitive. Us together, it's like him joking around and being goofy all the time, and I'm not always in the mood for that. But then he also doesn't know, like, when is she in a good mood. So that's where we develop misunderstandings, but we work on it. Like right now, that's what we always talk about when we have these small misunderstandings.
You need to let the other person know, hey, I'm not feeling this today. Just so you know, I'm in a cranky mood. Or if, let's say for instance, I said something to Pichie that she didn't like, and it gets held in, and it's not openly communicated about, or let's say that she says something to me that really ticks me off, and I don't say anything about it, we're gonna go throughout that day. And it just builds up, and it builds up. And whenever you're far away, you need to diffuse tension between couples as quickly as possible. It will build up, and it will be a ticking time bomb. It's so easy whenever you're not with the other person to just hang up the phone, to just say, I'll call you later. And then hours go by, and you're not talking.
But Austin, you're very good at diffusing the whole situation.
Yeah, sometimes.
He's really good at it. He always calls and goes like, hey, we have to fix this now. Like, what is the problem? So we never sleep on whatever it is we are going through. Like, it always has to be solved on the same day. That is why we don't go days without talking to each other. We never want.
That can't happen. Just think of Pichie as somewhat of an overthinker, and me of somebody who doesn't think enough. Like, something, I don't want to, like,
At all.
It goes over my head. It goes way over my head. Like, I could say something to Pichie, and she could really take it to heart. But for me, I will think of it as just another comment, and I'll go about my day, and then Pichie will get some sort of attitude about it, and I'll be like, well, why are you getting an attitude about it? Like, what's happening? Why did you just flip your script immediately?
And I would never tell him until he figured it out by himself.
Yeah, and I was expected to, and it went the same way for me to her. Like, she would say something to me, and sometimes I would tell her a little bit too aggressively, I don't like what you said. And then I come off as attacking. Long distance, it's all about the way you say things, and it's all about reading the vibes of the day. That's what it all comes down to. Number 2, take the time to ask questions.
What we mean by this is just when we feel like something's wrong, we always have to make sure not to assume, because assuming usually leads to more misunderstandings, right? And so we just have to literally be direct and ask, like, is there something wrong? Did I do something wrong? You know, how can I make this better? It's as simple as that.
Like, let's say for instance, me and Pichie are supposed to talk every night at 10:30 when I get off work. That's our thing. And let's say I work too late and I miss that day. Instead of Pichie losing her cool over the situation, she will just politely ask me, hey, why are you, like, why aren't we talking tonight? And I'll be like, Pichie, I'm at work, I'm sorry. I'm working late, this is what's happening. And she understands because she asked. She didn't automatically send me 17 text messages saying, we were supposed to talk, why aren't we talking? This and that, and it questions.
Yeah, we're very chill people, so, you know, whatever it is, whatever cancellations we make, it's fine. Like, it's no biggie as long as we understand each other. Like, oh, I'm so busy, and you know, I understand you. It's all right. You know, I'm here, and I'll just wait for you until you're not busy anymore.
Like, also in today's modern age, social media plays such a big part in a lot of people's relationships, whether they're together or not together, like physically. So, like, for instance, if I'm far away and Pichie's far away and I see that I texted her and she was active on Facebook 13 minutes ago, I messaged her 12 minutes ago, why isn't she responding? I'm not going to automatically assume that she saw my message and ignored me. Maybe she's talking to somebody via message. You know, there's plenty of other reasons why. I need to ask, hey, are you busy? If you are busy, then I understand. I'm not going to freak out, because that's just bad. That's just bad. I feel like that's something that we actually did pretty good with. We stayed in communication. We asked plenty of questions.
Number 1, and what we feel is most important, is to swallow your pride.
We can be fairly prideful.
You're a Leo, so...
A lot of people... Okay. Okay. So... Ouch, jab. A lot of people, they can't be wrong ever. I feel like in today's day and age, nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. Everybody's problem, how they feel on a certain situation, that is the bottom line. There is nothing else that will take that away. You need to understand when you're doing LDR that the smallest little thing can turn into a big one. You need to pick and choose your battles.
Yes. In my defense, I'm just kidding. No defense here. No defenses put out there. I will just say, from my point of view, I think that when we fight or like when we bicker, because you know you're stressed from work and I'm stressed because of other things here back at home, one just has to give in. Like, even if it's hard, you always have to think like, okay, you know, I had my turn last week, so I'm gonna give in this week. And just be like, okay, what do you need?
Wait, so when did you do that?
I do that a lot.
What situations do you do that?
I do that a lot.
She thinks that she lets me win arguments.
I do, and sometimes I apologize. One thing I learned from LDR, guys, is I learned how to apologize, and that is true.
Yeah.
I never apologized before. Oh, so that's where the pride comes in. And I always made him apologize for everything, but I don't want to be that person who always wants to be right.
So I think at the end of the day, if you're asking yourself right now watching this video, is going through LDR going to be worth it for you? Ask yourselves these main questions. How do you feel about this person? How do you feel about yourself? And are you willing to do this?
And what are the things that you will sacrifice in order for your relationship to work out? Because there are a few things that you'll have to sacrifice. Really, is it worth the sacrifices that you will make for that person?
If you do go through this, it will be the most rewarding thing to your relationship. It will be like your relationship took steroids whenever you get back to them.
Yes.
So much stronger, so harder to break. Just completely amazing.
Yeah.
So if you follow our 6 tips and tricks of long distance relationships, I promise you, you will have the most fruitful, strongest, amazing relationship like me and Pichie have. Well, that is actually it for us. Again, salamat for watching if you've made it this far. I hope you guys really got some valuable information out of this. Make sure that if you are a new subscriber or a new viewer, that you are subscribing, liking, commenting. All of our returning watchers, thank you guys very much. Maraming salamat.
And that is it from Pichie and Austin for today. We love you guys.
We'll see you
on the
next time.
one.
Bye.